everyone, I'm Dr. Amy Zhao, and here at the Bird Street Bistro, we are on a mission to help you provide your bird with the best possible nutrition. Here, I want to talk about the importance of fresh food and providing a balanced fresh food mix as a daily part of your bird's diet. So today, let's talk a little bit about 1, what is fresh food, and 2, why it's important to provide it in your parrot's diet. When I refer to fresh food, I'm typically talking about the non-pellet portion of a parrot's diet. So that's either an unprocessed or minimally processed whole food item. So this includes things like seeds and grains, which could be soaked, sprouted, or cooked. It also includes fresh produce like fruits and vegetables, and can also include any kind of edible herbs and flowers. Parrots in the wild spend a huge portion of their waking hours searching for and eating food. This means that the food that they eat provides a huge amount of sensory stimulation throughout their day. And when they're eating these food items, they're not being presented in a ready-to-eat form like we do in captivity. They're typically working at this food with their beak and with their feet and visually inspecting it and using their thinking skills in order to access this food. So it acts as a huge part of the daily enrichment that they receive. Now, in captivity, parrots are experiencing something extremely different. They're having their food presented to them in a bowl on a daily basis, and so this completely removes all of that foraging behavior that we typically see in the wild. Rather than spending a large portion of their waking hours searching for and eating the food, it typically only takes them a few minutes to eat each meal. This leaves a lot more hours left in the day that we now have to occupy in order to keep them stimulated and enriched and prevent behavioral problems and boredom. And so one of the most significant ways that we can add enrichment to a parrot's life is by adding some fresh food to the diet. By adding fresh food, we can add a variety of different types of sensations and textures, and also add whole food items that provide them with enrichment so that they have to use their beaks and use their feet in order to work at the food item like they would in the wild. And it would be a step closer to what they might experience in the wild. In addition to adding enrichment to their lives, adding a properly balanced fresh mix can also have massive nutritional benefit for our birds. There are just over 400 species of parrots in the wild, many of which we do find in captivity. And all of these parrots come from very, very different places and very different biological backgrounds and ecological niches. And that also means that these parrots will eat pretty varied diets. They're going to have a very, very diverse profile of diets, and they're going to be uniquely suited to eat very different foods. Unlike pellets, which usually only have a few different formulas, we can customize our fresh mixes and even rotate our fresh mixes on a weekly or even a seasonal basis in order to provide our birds with a more customized profile of nutrition. For example, the fresh mix of a seed-eating grass parakeet like the budgerigar is going to have a very different looking fresh mix than, say, a frugivorous parrot like an eclectus, which is also going to be very different from something like a macaw, which we know it has a more substantial nut component to their diet. So overall, by adding a balanced fresh mix to the diet, we can both enrich our parrots' lives and also provide them with additional nutritional support that's customized to each individual parrot. Now, there's 2 major caveats to feeding a substantial amount of fresh food in the diet. Number 1, a properly balanced fresh mix is not a random assortment of vegetables. It is a properly and intentionally chosen assortment of fresh foods that meet your parrot's nutritional requirements and is able to fulfill all of their nutritional needs. An improperly balanced fresh food diet can lead to substantial nutritional deficiencies and be harmful to the health of your bird. And number 2, it's more labor intensive to do a substantial fresh food component. Fresh food spoils a lot more quickly. It is typically not shelf stable, and so it's going to take a lot more intention in order to prepare that on a daily or even a weekly basis. And these 2 reasons play a huge part in why a lot of parrot owners struggle to bring fresh food into their parrot's diet, despite the fact that there is enormous benefit to adding a fresh food component to your parrot's daily food. However, here at Bird Street Bistro, we know how important it is to offer fresh food to your parrot's diet. So we have offered a line of products and continue to develop more products to support you in providing nutritionally balanced fresh mixes to your parrot's diet so that you can provide them with more nutrition as well as more customized fresh mixes to meet their individual nutrient needs. To get started incorporating fresh food into your parrot's diet, simply cook one of our Bird Street Bistro mixes and incorporate your parrot's favorite produce into that mix. Dark, nutrient-dense leafy greens and orange and yellow vegetables are a great place to start. Chop them finely and mix them with your bird's favorite Bird Street Bistro mix and serve. All right, that is all I have for today. Hopefully that helped you guys understand why it's important to incorporate a fresh component into your bird's mix and how to get started using our Bird Street Bistro mixes in order to incorporate that fresh food into their diet. So thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you next time.